Hello and welcome to another update for my Mets Realm theme team and Out of the Park Baseball 25 Perfect Team. This is the year 2046, and in the previous season, it was 2045, and I was entering the Silver League for the first time, and I lost in the first round of the playoffs. Had a pretty decent season, was very thrilled, but at the end of that video, I told you something that I was in a sort of privately put together league where a lot of teams were like they wanted to be in the same league, so the teams might not have been the most strongest, and so I was entering this silver league with the uh, presence of mind that this might be a little tougher than the last time. And so if you watched my last video, you heard me say that at the end. And the other thing I should say, if you're new to this channel, this is my Mets from theme team. Any card that is a Met is eligible for my team. And what I like to do is go over the stats, and then at the end of the video, I show you my record so you can sort of guess what my record is going to be at the end of the season. A little guessing game scenario, if you are good enough to sort of guess by looking at my stats how well my team did. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not so obvious. So let's get right into my team stats for the year 2046. So Christian Scott, a 3.31 ERA right here. And he's actually doing pretty good for me. Not as dominant as the previous leagues, but a 3.31 ERA is respectable. Probably would like it to get maybe high twos or lower threes than that, but I can take it 14 and 13. Bobby Ojeda, this is the one that I'm actually thrilled about because I've made a lot of investment into this Combinator upgraded card, and he's a 3.31 ERA as well, 11 and 8, and he actually, performed to my expectations and maybe exceeded in some ways. So 11 and 8, 3.31. I can't really complain about that. DeGrom, this is an interesting one, a 3.56 ERA, 10 and 10. But his season was kind of all over the place. Let me go over his game log, and then you will see what I'm talking about. You might need to go full screen to see this. So game one, this is the ERA column right here. Game one, 2 ERA, gave up 2 runs. Second game, 4 runs, and then he had a good stretch. Then May 16th, gave up 7 runs and 4 earned runs, and then had a pretty good stretch until June 28th when he gave up 5 runs and then 6 earned runs in July. But you can see he's not going 7 all the time. He's going 5 innings, giving up 0 earned runs in, was that June 18th? 5 innings, but 0. So 5 innings, not the greatest. And then he gave up 5 in June 28th, like I just said. And then July 14th, 6 earned runs. And then he gave up, and then he did pretty well in between, but then 5 earned runs August 14th. And then to finish the season, he gave up 6 earned runs in September, 3 earned runs, then 6 earned runs, and 4 earned runs. So 3.56 ERA. Not quite as good as I would have hoped for DeGrom, but it is what it is. So Syndergaard, here's another one. 9 and 16, but a 3.85 ERA. Another one that was inconsistent. You can see he's in the 4th spot because he was not consistent. Actually had an ERA in the 4s at some points in the season, but ended up under 4, so that's not horrible. But I will say the Syndergaard is sort of dropping off a bit, and that is is kind of disappointing. So, got to keep that in mind moving forward. Frank Viola, you'll see only 17 starts. That's because I had to replace Ron Darling because he was stinking it up for me. So, let's see. Where is the... So I actually put him in June, and he finished with a 3.62 ERA. So, not bad, actually. 3.62 ERA for fifth starter for Frank Viola. I mean, this is a mission card from the beginning of the game. So, it's actually kind of impressive that this card is still doing some good things. So I'm not too upset. Actually, you can see a complete game shutout to begin, a complete game, 8 innings here in June, 8 innings, 9 innings, 7 innings, 9 innings, 9 innings, 9 innings. Like, he had a pretty good run at the end of the season, so probably going to keep him in my rotation for next season. So we'll get into that in a bit. And then, let's see. Yeah, so Frank Viola pretty much surprised me. Continues to surprise me how effective he is. Now let's go to our pen. This is where things got a bit dicey. Tug McGraw, 2.43 ERA, 31 saves. Actually, I will tell you right now that he led the league in saves. So that's kind of cool. Orozco, 3.63 ERA. Another reliever that was up and down most of the season. Skip Lockwood, a recent addition, a 4.909 ERA, was up and down most of the time, and up and down between middle relief and setup, I should say. But yeah, kind of inconsistent is the best word to say about Skip Lockwood. And so the way I manage the pen, just put up who's hot and put in middle relief who's not. My middle relief options are kind of limited. So, yeah, I expected better from him. Roger McDowell, a 4.88 ERA, probably the most disappointing of them all because he was actually decent in the middle of the season, but kind of fell off in the middle, and that was kind of disappointing. Billy Wagner, 4.18 ERA, very disappointing. For some reason, this card has really, really fallen off. I'm not quite sure why, but I did rectify that in a manner. I'll get into that at the end. Danny Frisella, you'll see he's only got 7 innings pitched right here. And that's because I had Edwin Diaz and he stunk, and Danny Frisella, I decided to try him, and he did okay for his 7 innings, but not great. And then Swan, 4.75 ERA. And Bartolo Colon, 4.91 ERA. So this was a tale of 2 pitching performances. The bullpen was really bad, but the starters were actually kind of good. But you're going to see something that was even worse than that. And now we go to our hitting. So let's see. Here we go. So here's my lineup. And you'll notice that on the left-hand pitching side, you'll see a new player, Cleon Jones. I added Cleon Jones to my 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 team, and he wasn't as good as I would have hoped. I'll just say that much. Only 43 games, but I expected more from him. And so let's go right into the stats. So let's arrange it by average. And arrange by average, you can see that 250 was my highest average. And that's with Cleon Jones with 43 at-bats. And then Bobby Bonilla with 242. So just right there, you can see that my hitting was not great, to say the least. But Bobby Bonilla gave me 21 homers, 90 RBIs, 11 homers from right, and 229 average. Cedeno, I put him in at the end of the season for Cleon Jones versus right-handers because I just needed to see if I could get a hitting spark again, and he was okay at the end of the season, but a 223 average still, 23 stolen bases. Cespedes, 25 homers, 63 RBIs, and 217 average. And you can, I can tell you that Cespedes led the league in homers for a good chunk of the season. So homers were really down in this league. I was kind of surprised by that. Beltran, you can see it right here. Maybe you can't on this screen. I have it cropped out, but he's got the cold symbol next to him. 212, 16 RBI, 16 homers, 57 RBIs, 40 stolen bases. Darryl Strawberry, 211, 23 homers, 49 RBIs. Alfonso, he's got the cold symbol on him. 210 average, 11 homers, 52 RBIs. Lindor's got the hot symbol next to him. 209 average. He was actually, benched for a little bit of it because he just wasn't particularly great. But not next season, but the season after next week, I'm expecting his card to get a little bit better because he's performing well, and this is a live card, so I'm expecting more from him. Piazza's got the hot symbol, but he wasn't great. 13 homers, 50 RBIs, 207 average. Kaz Matsui, 182. 2 homers, 22 RBIs. Duffy Dyer, 180. And, 180 average and 1 homer. So, not particularly great on the hitting side. If you're wondering who I sent down for Cleon, I sent Dave Magadan down because he's kind of run his course. All right, so now let's go to the main screen. Here we go. Now, I want you to guess how well I did. Based on everything that I've told you, my hitting, my pen, my starters, how well do you think I actually did? Because I'll tell you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I finished with a 70 and 92 average and 92 losses. 70 and 92, not good at all. 22 games under 500. Very disappointing. I'll show you my where I am in the standings. And unfortunately, I'm in relegation territory. I failed to advance by 3 games. 72 was the cutoff, and I've only got 70 wins. So we're going back to the Bronze League. It's disappointing, especially having just gotten back in here. Um, I was sort of managing. I would say the most disappointing. I was managing it day to day, so I don't have that excuse. But I will say that it is kind of disappointing the precipitous drop off my hitters had. So that's not a good sign uh, for me coming back here and remaining here. But maybe it was just bad luck. We'll see. But that's not a good sign. And so I might have said this in a previous video, but I, um, around this time of year is when the walls start to get put up and you feel the you get to feel what it's like to be a free to play player, I should say, and also the fact that I'm on a theme team that limits my players. So, unfortunately, we're going back to the bronze. I think we should be okay in the bronze, and we should be able to get back up here. And yeah, so that is what it is. What month did we go wrong? If you are asking that question, let's take a look. I finished decent in September. I was actually doing okay until July, which was let's see, September, which was Thursday, 6-19. That was the killer for me. That was the killer. Let me see if I could find July. I had a lot of losing streaks going into July. In fact, my team was so bad, I got my David Wright made the All-Star team, and he was just a pity All-Star pick. Not deserved. So that was bad. But it is weird that my Tug McGraw, for how bad my team was, led the league in saves over here. You can go full screen to see it. 31 saves. The second place was 23. And homers, the highest was 31, which is kind of crazy. So hitting maybe was down for a lot of people this time around, but yeah. Should be interesting trying to get back. Also, you might see that the year, if you're looking at this full screen, says 1969 for some reason. So, for whatever reason, the year got screwed up here. So hopefully they fix that. But it's actually 2046. And I did allude to that about the Wagner card. I just got the Combinator upgradable version of the Wagner card, so we'll be getting a better Wagner moving forward. And oh yeah, did I forget to show you the Cleon Jones right here? You might want to go full screen to see this. Pretty decent card. The defense looks good. He also plays first base, so that's actually why I sent Magadan down. So yeah, that's why. So he's probably gonna remain in the lineup in the Bronze League just to start. Otherwise, actually, he was hitting kind of decent at the end of the season. You can just see here a lot of hits. So yeah, he should do well in the Bronze League. And the other card that was released that I don't have yet is the Nolan Ryan card right here. It's a pitcher card. Could probably use him as a starter or as a bullpen guy. Probably a starter, although he's got very low stamina, so maybe a pen in the long term. But in any case, he's kind of expensive to get. And if you missed my I did a live stream on YouTube opening over 400 packs. Ended up being over 400. I'm going to be uploading that VOD after this video goes up at some point. So, yeah, you'll see that coming up soon. And I did get a decent chunk of change. So, we're going to be, trying some new things, some new strategies. I am in August, and as I said earlier, this is usually where the walls start to come up. So if I'm not having fun, or if I feel like I can't continue forward and make progress, then I'm going to halt this whole series. So I hope you understand that. If you were expecting me to go to the end of the year, those are the scenario. That's the scenario that I would end my series. So yeah, the Brooklyn Mets theme team going back to the Bronze League. I think we'll be able to get back up here for the following week, and yeah, we will see how that goes. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my content. I also do indie game coverage, and very, very soon you're going to be getting a lot more of those other games. And then on October 8th, I am going to be doing some Undisputed Boxing, a new career mode. I've already got a career mode on the channel from the beta, the Steam Early Access version. So you might want to check that out if you're into boxing as another sport. And yeah, so that's what I've got coming up. And as always, you'll get another update for this Mets Realm theme team next week. So, but in this upcoming week, you're going to get the packs as well. The packs opening video. So it's, you get relegated. You just hope that it's not a free fall. So crossing my fingers that it's not a free fall. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.